I think I'll start because we're a few minutes after 6 o'clock. So, welcome everyone, and I've got the great privilege of welcoming you and everyone here to this quick rundown of the event, the Pilliga Ultra. But before I start, I want to acknowledge and pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the lands and waters in which we're meeting today. And I'm calling in from the lands of the Ngarrindjeri people. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and future. And I also respect their continuing cultural, spiritual customs and practices. With that, everyone, welcome here. It's great to see so many of you. It's so fantastic, and thank you for taking the time on this winter evening. My name's Simon, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm one of the founders and directors of a great organisation. Obviously, I'm slightly biased, called For Wild Places, and I guess where our organisation exists really to connect trail running and walkers, because there's a few walkers here, with connecting our wild places. And we're aiming to do that by creating wild trail running events and also campaigns to tap into the power that people like you have to protect our wild places. So thank you so much for being here. It's so amazing to see so many of you. And yeah, I mean, you may not know this, but you are part of a small group of people that are really wanting to do something. You know, not only are you signing up to run 50, 26 kilometers, you're actually raising money and also spreading the message. You know, you're a pretty unique group of amazing people. And the most exciting thing for me is really getting to meet you in a few weeks' time. And, you know, I just want to thank you on behalf of For Wild Places, the Wilderness Society, and also the many other groups that are working to protect the Pilliga, and also on behalf of the Gomeroi people. To date, we've got 73 people who have signed up to run. So there's 73 of you thus far, which is amazing. We want to get to 100, and we really think we can do that. And also, you've raised $26,000 already, which is just mind blowing. So a big thanks to you guys for what you've done so far. Before I hand over to the legendary Mile Backhausen, who's the trail lead for this event, I also want to just take the time to have a few shout outs to some people that are really important and integral to this campaign. They are an amazing woman and her team called Maria at the Pilliga Pottery. That's where we're hosting the event. Maria and her team are just amazing. If you haven't been to the pottery before, it's just a magical place and is in the heart of the Pilliga. And I feel very fortunate that Maria believed in us and said yes to hosting it there. Our key partners, who again are amazing. We've got Stone and Wood. So thank you guys if you're on the call for partnering with us. Also Paddy Palin, who are doing heaps to support this event. It's great to have you on board. And also Capra, who we'll be hearing a little bit more about later on. Also, it would be remiss of me to make mention of the For Wild Places team, who largely are working tirelessly on this, you know, largely voluntary, you know, and I just want to say thank you to you guys for what you do, Hilary, Mael, and the team. It's you know, I feel very lucky to work with you on this. And of course, the Wilderness Society for believing us and wanting to partner with us on this. I'm not sure if there's anyone from the Wilderness Society on here. If you'd like to say a word, you're more than welcome to. I'll just give you a few seconds if there is anyone.
Oh, I'll say hi. I'm on the board of TWIS Newcastle, so just a big thank you to everyone for being awesome, and yeah, can't wait to meet you all.
Thanks, Prue. Thank you. Thanks for being a part of it. And also, you know, thank you to the many organisations that are in the community around that really worked tirelessly on this campaign for many years. And I just want to say thank you so much to you guys too. You've done so much. So hopefully we can help you, you know, even more. So with that, I'm going to hand you over now to Mael Backhausen, who's going to take you through the routes and discuss everything Pilliga Ultra. And obviously ask questions as we go, and you can put a question in the feed, or just put your hands up, or just shout out. But yeah, and then after that, I'll hand you over to the amazing Hillary, who is going to talk a little bit more about the event. So over to you, Mael.
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, hey everyone, thanks a lot for joining in this evening. I hope you all get something out of it. And yeah, as Simon said, just please feel free to ask some questions, because that's what it's all about. It's all about trying to make you as runners, as athletes, as sports activists, make you feel comfortable and confident about what you're about to take on when July 31st comes along, and also in the lead up to that, because we're all here as one team, one group of people, essentially, and yeah, we've all got a huge amount in common, and I think it's evident that that we all love the sport of either trail running or walking, and more broadly just being outdoors. And I feel like everyone here has also got a huge connection with wanting to help protect the places that we recreate in and enjoy so much, and the places that, for a lot of us really kind of make us feel alive. So yeah, just make sure that you've got any questions, pop them in, and if you'd rather not, then you're always welcome to reach out to us privately after this chat as well. Just a quick one, Colin. Sorry, I haven't returned your phone call, mate. I've got that written down on my list, and I haven't done that today. So you're on the phone.
Cheers, fella.
I'll get back to you. That's completely off topic, by the way. No one else has to call Colin. Unless you do, I'll drop his number in the chat and we can go from there. I just want to get a bit of I can see most people have if you do have your video on, can you just kind of raise your hand if you are doing the 5 kilometer, which is pretty much a 6 kilometer. Okay, we got one there. And put your hand up if you're doing the 20 kilometer event.
I was, but I'm not now.
No, yeah, that's all good, Richard, but you're still a legend, mate. So and I'm going to be watching your Strava profile to make sure you do it on the same day at the same time in Melbourne. And 50 kilometer. Is anyone who's doing the 50 kilometer? Okay, great. There's a good spread. Cool. Excellent. Well, that's good. Okay. So, yeah, my job essentially, which has been amazing to be a part of, is to help kind of make sure that runners have the best experience they can when they're out on the course. And the two main priorities obviously is safety, because we want to make sure that everyone's safe out there. And then the other thing is, the experience, making sure that people really do get the opportunity to connect with the landscape and feel supported in doing that. So, so I was lucky enough to be out there with Hillary recently, and we were able to scout out a lot of courses. And it's a truly, truly awesome way to see the landscape, because out in this section of the Pilliga, you get a lot of amazing access via the farm roads that you'll run on. But then when you get into these small valleys and these large rocky outcrops, you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. And in saying that, it kind of helps describe a little bit of the course. Like there's a lot of there's a good mix of farm roads, which are very non-technical, very easy to run, nice and flat. And then they take you into these more technical, rocky, very steep uphill, very steep downhill sections of the course, which is like real kind of raw technical trail running, and it's really amazing. There's also quite a few areas where you get up quite high and you get a really nice vista of either back at the farm or back over the Pilliga forest, and it's and so all of those elements really come together to give you an opportunity to really experience the land that you're protecting out there. And so in saying that, I'm just going to share my screen with you, and I hope everyone can see that. What we can do is just kind of have a quick go over the courses of the race. If anyone can't see that, just sing out, but I'll just assume that it's working properly. So this is what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the Pilliga 50. Now this course here is it's a tough course, but also a really enjoyable course as well. There's a good amount of aid stations. You get 4 aid stations on this course. they're quite far spread apart. But in saying that, it kind of just, you know, puts the onus back on you to understand how you can best prepare yourself for making sure you've got enough water and enough food when you're out there. And if anyone needs to know a little bit about what's happening with regards to the aid station food and stuff like that, it's going to be pretty simple. We're mainly going to have like water, electrolyte tablets, some selection of gels like the sports gels, and kind of the basic kind of fruit, and probably some potato chips, but just keeping it pretty basic. As you can see, there's quite a few ups and downs in the 50K. It's a mix of, when you're going uphill, it's generally very technical, and when you're going downhill, it's also very technical. But the flatter sections on this course, you can see, are going to be pretty runnable. Okay, there's not going to be too much technical trail on the flatter sections or the less steep sections. So this course is, yeah, it's got quite a bit of elevation gain in it as well, like 1,154 meters. So it's got a good bit of climbing in it, and I highly recommend you to, when you're training for this event, the same with the 20 kilometer and the same with the 5 kilometer. When you're training for those events, make sure you also include like a good bit of technical running. And what I mean by that is, make sure you pick some trails out, if you can, that have quite a good mix of like different rocks on them, and just make sure that, you know, the kind of trails that you really do have to slow down a little bit and pay a bit of attention to where you're placing your feet and how you navigate down it. And also make sure that you practice some hiking, because a lot of these uphills are quite aggressively steep, and you know, there's a very good chance that hiking up them is probably going to get you up there quicker, if not at the same pace than running up them. So just make sure you're not afraid of getting out there and doing some hiking in your training leading up to this event. You know, aside from all of that, it's you know, it's just a damn great day out. There's going to be a few sections of the course that you go over, that you come quite close to the 20 kilometer course and the 5 kilometer course. And so just make sure that when you come up to a section where you see signage, that you do pay attention to the signs, because they will direct you in the right way. So say you will get up to a point where a 20 kilometer course goes to the right and the 50 kilometer course goes to the left. So you just make sure that you're paying attention when you do come up to junctions and there's signage. For the most part, we'll probably have a marshal there to direct you, but you know, who knows? The marshal might just have to go off into the bush and go to the bathroom, and they might not be there for whatever reason. So just also make sure that you're paying attention too, because that signage is going to be really important. And of course, we don't want you to get lost out on the trail there. Yeah, so 50K, quite a variety of up and down. If there's any questions about this, please just like let us know, or, you know, just sing out right now. Just ask away, because it's, you know, it's easy to look at something like this and go, okay, cool, there's a bit of up, bit of down. And but then there might be a few other questions that pop up for you personally due to your experience, which are totally fine to ask as well. Okay, and as you can see, like this covers a huge expanse of the farmland, and basically you can see that the Pilliga pottery is right down here. This is start and finish line, and then you run all the way out and kind of come all the way back to the Pilliga pottery start and finish line. So I can't really see the chat right now for some reason, but if there is any questions, we will have a look at that in a moment. Yeah, so the 20 kilometer course, again, it kind of includes all the most technical, kind of really beautiful elements of the 50 kilometer course. And it's in regards to the terrain, it's very similar. You've got a few sections of farm road, and they take you out into these steeper rocky gorges and valleys. And so again, you know, doing a bit of hiking is going to be great. Practicing on some really technical trails is going to be great. And and just mixing that all in with your running is going to really help you out. One thing is like there's only one aid station on this course, and it comes at about 8 kilometers, so just before halfway. And just with regards to that, just make sure that yeah, you know, you're aware of that, and you know that you obviously got your start line. You've got about 8K until the first checkpoint. You can stock up on some water or whatever you need, and then you got to push on for another 12K solo. And yeah, I mean, it's again, there's a bit of signage there where the 50K splits off one way and the 20K splits off. Just make sure you follow the signs, make sure you follow the course markings, and yeah, there's not too much difference in regards to the actual essence of the course in regards to flat running, fire roads, or technical trails. And again, if anyone doesn't really understand how to read like a course map or the elevation profile, then yeah, then just let us know. I guess one thing I'd say is you can is when you get to the aid station at 8 kilometer, you can see that just after that aid station there's quite a steep hill, and you can see that from the course profile. So it's a really good opportunity to like not spend too long in the aid station, get what you need, and then you can like make the most of that opportunity up that hill to kind of like take a bit of time to eat things and drink things that you might just want to carry in your hands, okay? Because you will be going slower up that hill and turn it into a good hike, and it's a good use of that time and that trail. And we move on to the 5K, right? And the 5K is yeah, again, it's just like a very much like a really small, it's, I know this sounds funny, but it's a small 50K, yeah, because it does include some really cool sections of the 50K course. And in all honesty, it really kind of jam packs all the really nice elements of the whole area into just 6K. There's some really nice uphill, which isn't too steep, and then there's some really technical downhill running that also plays a part in the race. And it also allows you to really feel like, you know, you get out into the shrub and you feel like you're a million miles away from anywhere, but in actual fact you're only about, you know, 2 kilometers away from the Pilliga pottery where we first start. When we were running between, say, like the 3 to 4 kilometer section of this race, we saw a pair of emus running through the valley there, which was pretty cool. So there's definitely a bunch of wildlife out there, which hopefully, yeah, hopefully everyone can see and experience. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it with regards to the course. Hillary is going to talk a little bit more about Capra, which is, you know, the app that we can use, the mapping app that we can use for the Pilliga Ultra, which is awesome to have those guys on board. Look, I'm not going to say too much more because I feel like I'm just going to repeat myself. But look, get in some hiking, get in some technical training. Make sure you're always just kind of like keeping in touch with us if you need a bit more info. Understand where your aid stations are, understand what they're going to involve, and yeah, it's going to be a great time out there. And I really feel like the course is something that you're really going to move through and feel like you've understood the land that you're able to help protect. And also we've got the kids race. We're going to do one on the Saturday, and I believe we're also going to do one on the Sunday as well. It's going to be, you know, approximately 1 kilometer, and just make sure that if you or your friend or anyone you know is bringing kids along, that they're ready to go for those 2 events. And also on the Sunday, I believe we might be, Hillary, you can fill in a bit more, but we might be doing the a peak out, which will be a really nice walk up to Maria's Lookout, which is a beautiful outlook on the Sunday. So yeah, just make sure you're across all the event schedule, and hopefully you can join for all of it. And yeah, feel free to reach out for any like training advice or anything with regards to gear and equipment and food, because you know, we're all trail runners as well. We love the sport. We love helping people out getting into the sport and who are a part of the sport, and really happy to share any knowledge that we have to make sure you guys have a much more enjoyable time out there on the trail. So yeah, I think I've sufficiently repeated myself a few times, and I think I am going to call it quits. And yeah, drop any questions in the chat if you need. But yeah, thanks heaps,
Hey.
Nick, for taking the time.
Maya, thank you for that. I've got a quick question. It's about the compulsory gear. Just that there is a compulsory gear, particularly for the 50. Did you want to talk about that briefly?
Yeah, look, we're just, after being out there and being able to see the course, we're probably going to be able to make a couple of changes to the compulsory gear and not really have it as, I guess, the most extensive list that you would see on other ultras, but we'll definitely finalize that within the next couple of days. The likelihood is that you'll be carrying kind of like the minimal requirements. So like definitely you'll be like a space blanket, a warm layer, or a waterproof, windproof jacket. The good thing is like up in the Pilliga, it's weather can be pretty consistent, and so we will definitely know what the weather's going to be like closer to the date. And if it really doesn't look like rain, then there's a good chance we might not ask people to take waterproofs, because we just know that it's not going to be needed. However, there will be a requirement to carry, like if we don't do waterproofs, we'll definitely do a long sleeve thermal, just an additional layer. But yeah, it's going to be space blanket, whistle, phone. You know, obviously make sure you've got enough capacity to carry water. Obviously you'll just need a running pack for that. But in terms of, yeah, mandatory gear, it's not going to be as extensive as something like Ultra Trail Australia or something like Surf Coast Century or Takina Ultra or Takina Trail. It'll be something, yeah, you know, a little bit more similar to something like the Buffalo Stampede, where in the Ultra, you don't necessarily need to carry a huge list of equipment, but it's enough if you get in trouble. So yeah, just a little bit on that one. Thanks. There will definitely, yeah, I see a comment there, Nick. There will definitely be mandatory gear, but it's the list will not be too large. So you're not going to be carrying like 2 or 3 kilos of mandatory kit. It would be a refined, smaller list. Absolutely. And one that we will update on the day as well, like on the weekend of the event. So if we know it's definitely not going to be raining, there's a good chance we'll be able to kind of take out the waterproof jacket in place of, say, like a long sleeve thermal top instead. So yeah, that's
nice one. So that kind of leads well into what I was going to talk about. I'm Hillary, everyone. Nice to meet you all, and look forward to seeing you all in about 6 weeks down in up in the Pilliga. So yeah, we're hoping to get a bunch of those key details to you soon. We'll be releasing an event info book, hope by the 9th of July, potentially sooner, but that will basically have the final event schedule and include all the course maps, course rules, and those sorts of things. It's pretty standard stuff, nothing, you know, out of the ordinary. And that will have the final mandatory gear. But like Madge said, it's pretty standard. Like we were up there maybe 3 weeks ago, and it's like 0 overnight and then like 22 and sunny during the day. So, and it very rarely rains there. They've had about 15 mil in the past week, which is fantastic for them because they've come off 2 or 3 years of intense drought. So the place will be looking beautiful and nice and green for us. But yeah, unlike the kind of alpine, this is a lot more kind of regular weather. And one thing to note as well is that there is no phone service at Pilliga Pottery where the event is being held. They have Wi-Fi there. But once we all land there, I imagine it'll slow down considerably. But also important to note we're out on the course. So we will be using this app called Capra. It's developed by 2 guys, Maddie and Henry, who live in Sydney. And they're keen trail runners, and it kind of came out their frustration about having reliable maps for runs and hikes that they like to do. So it's, you know, quite a step up from all trails in that, you know, they kind of review all the maps that come in and, you know, make sure that the information's correct and the maps are current. And then, as you can see on the screen there, it's kind of got a bit of an explanation and safety tip, those sorts of things. So this is a brief course description, and we'll be releasing more detailed course descriptions too. But to download this, just head to the App Store. It's called Capra app. And you will have to create a profile, but the 3 runs, the 6, the 20 and the 50 are all free. So you don't need to pay for anything. And basically you'll be able to see this. And then when you're in person, it will show you where you are. Once you're there, it will use GPS to locate where you are. So I guess this is an alternative to Avenza or something that you'd normally have in this kind of situation. But yeah, it's a really great app. And when I've been up there, I've put a few other routes around the Warrumbungles nearby. So hopefully if you're heading up there, you can use this app to see what other, trails there are in the area, if you're keen to do a hike or a run before or after you head up to the Pilliga. But I'll be putting up a video where I kind of talk through how to use the interface. But this is basically, it's all up there and ready to go. So you're welcome to come check it out. But we will ask you to have phones when you do the mandatory year check-in on the Friday, and having this will be part of that as well. But yeah, obviously there is service at Pilliga, or Wi-Fi at Pilliga, but probably best put at home. So yeah, in terms of the event, I think we have, not sure how much being conveyed to you through Simon's emails, but it kicks off on the Friday night. So at 4 p.m, we have registrations opening at Pilliga Pottery. And I'm not sure if you've looked it up on Google Maps, but it's about a half hour drive north of Coonabarabran. It's about 10k off the highway. It is a gravel road. We'll put all this information out beforehand, but just be wary that, don't worry, we're not sending you into like some random bush place, like, because you kind of feel like you're going far away from civilization. But that's why we love Pilliga Pottery, because it's its own little amazing village. So yeah, 4 p.m. registration opens and gear check, and then at 6 p.m. we've got the runners briefing, and then followed by dinner, and then registration will open in after dinner if you've arrived a bit late. And yeah, we'll all be there, so it'd be great. We're going to send out a Google form shortly. We'll ask you a few more questions around dietary requirements, and a few other kind of things that we're hoping will make your experience up there run a lot smoother. And also in terms of transport, because it is out of the way. So we want to try and connect people where we can to carpool and those sorts of things. If people are flying in, because a lot of the flights from Sydney to Tamworth or Dubbo, so we can try and minimise people having to hire cars and all that kind of jazz. So we'll do what we can. I suggest that you join the Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group for volunteers and runners and people coming along, where you can, if you have a spare seat and you're heading up from Sydney or something, you can help people out. Because yeah, we understand, we appreciate everyone coming out, because we know it is a long way from anywhere. So we want to try and make that as easy as possible for everyone. So yeah, we'll kick off running on the Saturday. It's I think the sunrise is about 7:15 up there, so it'll be around a 7 a.m. start for the ultra, and then we're still going to, I think the 20k will be slightly later and the 6k later again. So you will be starting in the dark if you're doing the 50. Like I said, it gets quite cold there overnight. What was that, Simon? Oh, we've lost Simon.
Usually me that does this magic trick. I think here is going to say it is a long way from anyone. What we'll do as soon as we'll start the time referred to the bills that we provided. It'd be great to get your just your dietary requirements on the Saturday evening. They'll be dedicated to ours, so there's no charge, and it will be provided by the Pilliga Pottery. So we're very lucky there, and particularly around the Pilliga Pottery, whatever you basic-wise is catered for, they're really great for that reason. I'm sure if Hillary mentioned internet is very slow, I just want to email or phone Hillary or mail. There's always the question here for questions. So any questions for us?
See everyone, this is what I was waiting for. It's amazing. Simon has this magic trick where he speaks a lot and nothing comes out. Simon, we lost you
No, I think
a fair bit there.
yeah, well, if there's no questions, I did actually forget to, oh, actually, sorry, Nicole sent one through. Right. I can definitely send you that, Nicole. So if there's no questions, it was remiss of me. I did actually want to have one more, couple more quick thank yous actually, and that was to a legend guy called Tom, who maybe has finished eating his burger. I wanted to say he's designed up some amazing t-shirt designs for the event, and I'll share that with you soon. They're just amazing. So thank you, Tom, for doing that. And if there are any volunteers on the call, I just want to say thank you so much as well for signing up to register, so to take part in the event and volunteer for us. It's, we're really grateful to you. And also to the runners, if you do have family members or friends that will be with you and want to take part and register, then please get in touch. And I'll share a link with you all quite soon about how to do that. Maya, do you have any closing comments?
Not too much, hey. Just make sure you reach out to us if you do need anything.
You're on mute.
Excellent, awesome, that's great. Am I on mute? No, I think I'm good.
All good.
Yeah, no. Make sure you just hit us up with any info that you need. We're all more than happy.
It was all going so well before.
So it's classic.
Yes.
Basically, part of our For Wild Places budget's going to go towards Simon getting some better internet. But until then, no, just reach out if you need anything. And yeah,
he's still on mute, I think. Yeah.
No, I don't think he is.
Anyway, I'm aware of the time, everyone. With that, I'm sure Maya was thank you profusely, and from all of us here at Wild Places and the Wilderness Society and the amazing Pilliga Pottery. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and I can't wait to meet you all and to run with you on the actual weekend. So thanks for your time. It means a lot to me and everyone. So thank you.
Thank you, wonderful people. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming, and
thanks
feel free to reach out if there's anything you need.
Here's some key dates for you. If you need anything, just reach out and we'll catch you then.